Abusua, Afenyo Markins, Kesi be na honorable a majority leader. Ayariga Kajan say, it's enough, yes. Afenyo, it's enough. On our parliament for 16 years, Ubi and Obisa questioner, Obeka Kotina dispatch boss, Winchana, no Kasa. I was young over a banter course when I was shutting Afenyo off or any proceedings because Afenyo, Nenima Afenyo, Kasa no raising the voices. Or Parliament and say, oh no, Akroma Parliament or Parliament 16 years in it. And it's the proceeding is that so be bisa question on call the dispatch boss. Obejina baby on no bisa question. You go a hot interaction a setting in Parliament.
The man prefers to use a dispatch box. Why would a member rise and say that it cannot be done? Which particular order? What is the order that he relied upon? Which expressly say that when you are asking a question, it must only be at your place. There's nothing like that in the rules book. Mr. Speaker, I leave it to you because whatever ruling you give would be for the records and for posterity. I so submit.
Thank you very, very much. Majority Leader, you indicated you've raised your point. Is there any issue you want to respond to?
Mr. Speaker, I just want to clarify that I know you, and I know you are not a person who can be intimidated by anybody on either side of the House. Mr. Speaker, I'm not the first person or the first leader to defy you and say I will not accept. Just last week, when I read the business statement, they asked questions, and it was getting elongated and time wasting. You ruled that business statement period should end and we should proceed to commence public business. He led his side. They defied all the rules of this House. They stood, they stamped their feet, they made noise, and made it impossible for you to run this House until you change your decision and allow them to continue asking questions. He did that. He did that. Today, he thinks that by me also saying that I will not allow that to happen, I am intimidating you, or I am setting the agenda. I've made it very clear, Mr. Speaker, that if his style of leadership is anything to go by, I also have men behind me and women behind me. And I'm saying that we must all learn to give in. We can't run a system in which we will never give in. We can't run a system like that. So I'm saying that enough. And I'm saying that today, this side of the House will not allow him to go to the dispatch box and ask his questions. Because he himself, in espousing his position, has not lent it to be established by any rule. No rule. No rule. I have been in this House for at least 16 years. I have seen not less than 4 leaders. None of them in my life in this House ever walked there to ask a simple question. He has been in this House since the Parliament began, I believe. Let him get up and tell us whether for the whole period that he was here, he saw any leader go there and ask questions. Mr. Speaker,
we listen to Afenyo in silence.
So, Mr. Speaker, my position hasn't changed. I'm saying that this, you see, when he is acting on behalf of his caucus, when you are acting on behalf of your caucus, and we all see it, it happens every day. When, for instance, the budget is presented and all of you debate the budget, and it's a turn of leaders to go and sum up the debate and advance the cause of their sides. I've been in this house, and every budget that has been presented, the leaders go to the dispatch box to sum up the arguments of their sides. The same way I've been in this house and I've seen.
Honorable members, can we have some order? Let's listen to each other in silence.
Chamber, I'm sure 20, 25 years of your life in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, I have been here for long to see that every week, every leader of this house has presented their report on dispatch box. I have seen that. But as for every leader, the minority leader walking there every day to ask these questions, I have not seen it before. I haven't seen it before. And it won't start when I am leader in this house. It won't start. So please, if you are acting on behalf of your caucus, you go there. If you are asking a question as you, Honorable Afenyo, asking a question as any other ordinary member of this house, you will stand there and ask the question, because even I, when I'm asking a question, I will stand here and ask the question.
Yes. Before coming to you, Honorable Nitiwood, you've been...
that the invitation by you, the invitation by the majority leader to you to deny me the opportunity to use a dispatch box to ask my question is not founded on any rule. Mr. Speaker, I've come through the rules where the standing orders intends to make something mandatory. It says so in express terms. I've read Order 88.2. Order 88.2. It provides, and the title of that is Manner of Asking and Answering Questions. It provides that the members called shall rise. It didn't say shall rise in his place. In this order, where the rule wants a member to rise in his place, it says so. It says that the member shall rise and ask the question. That stands in the name of the member on the order paper. Mr. Speaker, there is no such express provision that when you file a question and the minister is here to answer, the member must necessarily stand in his place before asking. More so when the question is in the name of the leader of a caucus. Mr. Speaker, I have said it time without number that this dispatch box is for this side of the house. This dispatch box to your left is our dispatch box. Leaders, the five of us, including any member on our side, that with our leave, with the indulgence of Speaker, and so granted leave.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker,
I'm not. I will allow you whatever you want to say.
Yes.
But because I am being called upon to make a ruling, I need to understand the gravamen of the issue. Now, you read Order 88.2. Is that not so? Which says that the member called shall rise and ask the question. So the operative word used here is the member. So if you are putting a proper interpretation on it, this membership is not limited to majority leader or minority leader. So by a proper interpretation, we just want to understand very well, very well. We want to get everything clear.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. I have submitted that this dispatch box is for those to your left. And those to your left constitute the minority. And I've said that the very provision 88 does not contemplate that a member must necessarily stand in his or her place. More so when that member is a leader. Mr. Speaker, a leader or the leaders of the caucus can proceed to use the dispatch box bona fide. 2, with the leave of the speaker, colleagues from the side here can use this dispatch box. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is ours, no standing order. There is no, this whole book, there is no provision that limits the use of this dispatch box. Now, if we want to invoke practice, I have heard somebody say that no leader use the dispatch box to ask a question. With respect, we may check the records. The respected member, J.H. Mensah, who has been summoned to the Parliment above, used the dispatch box. In fact, at no point did he use his seat. Mr. Speaker, I have checked the records. And even if there is no precedence, it is my submission that there is no such rule that stops a leader from asking a question from the dispatch box. Mr. Speaker, is there any express rule that says that ministers, when they come here, they must use the dispatch box? But it is presumed that ministers may not even be members of parliament, and once they come here, they would have to address us from the dispatch box. Mr. Speaker, it is also presumed that the vice president, who can participate in our debates, upon coming here, will use the dispatch box, though such has not been used before. But if he or she comes, that is where they will use. Mr. Speaker, so this issue of all of a sudden the dispatch box on our side, not that we are crossing to use the dispatch box of the majority side. Not that I'm crossing or any member wants to cross. To use here, they say, hey, there is no precedent. The rule must be interpreted. And that this is only for statements and other things, not for questions. Mr. Speaker, I would want you to decline this invitation. However, if you want to make a ruling to, as it were, honor the majority leader, so be it.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader says that today it will not happen. He has said that publicly, that it won't happen. Mr. Speaker, I believe most humbly that it is not the majority leader who presides. Therefore, if he is making an application, that application must be made to you. But to add that it will not happen is more or less to prejudice the outcome of the very application that he's made. And that I find very strange. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude with the precedents in the Commonwealth. Mr. Speaker, we are all aware of the UK Parliament, and we watch the US Congress. Mr. Speaker, it is not out of place, particularly in the UK Parliament, for the opposition leader in Parliament to use the dispatch box for her submissions. Mr. Speaker, it is done. I do not see all this hula baloo about dispatch box. I conclude by saying that if members on the majority side are saying that, well, they find it quite strange to have the dispatch box. So today, Mr. Speaker, they say it won't happen, they won't allow. As though they have the power to allow or disallow. But they've said it for the records, that they will not allow. And I believe that it is that insistent pressure that gave rise for you to suspend, so that we go. Mr. Speaker, they were mentioning Order 115. I've read 115 as well. Nowhere in that 115 is talking about a specific issue to say that when it comes to question. Mr. Speaker, we have to be very clear. Mr. Speaker, maybe I would want to read the 115. It talks about subject to the discretion of the Speaker. And Order 1693B, a member who intends to speak shall rise in the member's place and address the chair while standing only after catching the eye of the Speaker. So what that even means is that, Mr. Speaker, there is a discretion. There is a discretional provision there where even the Speaker can allow a member to speak from a place other than his place. That is why that proviso is there. Mr. Speaker, why then will a member, after you've allowed me to proceed to ask my questions, rise to say that he is challenging the discretion you've exercised? Because obviously you had granted me the opportunity to ask a question. And even if we are going by 115, the issue of discretion comes to play. Meaning that if the Speaker allows, and in this case, it is the leader who is asking his question. So if the Speaker says that instead of being